colleagues have got another find of people in the shed next door.
It's a huge find.
9, 10, 11, 12. I think.
16.
Officers John Cassidy and Emma Matthews are starting their shift. They'll spend the night checking trucks just before they board ferries bound for Britain.
We're now 2:23 in the morning. We're in the shed at Calais, and we're trying to find illegal entrants hiding in the back of vehicles. At the moment, I'm going to use a CO2 unit probe. The probe is inserted into the vehicle where it will draw air in. The air will be analysed by this machine here. It'll tell us how much the CO2 reading is compared to the oxygen. It's an indicator. If there's a lot of CO2, it could possibly be someone inside.
Because I'm near the exhaust, when you probe at the front, it picks up the fumes when the vehicle first comes in. So you can get quite a lot of false readings. Yeah, I've got 500.
Technology is a useful tool, but so are experience and a nose for the job.
Often the people we're looking for have been sitting around campfires. They usually live a bit rough in the woods, etc. And they can smell the campfires they sit around. So that very strong burning smell that associated with a bonfire as such. Plus, cleanliness tends to go out the window slightly once they've been living rough for a few weeks. So they have a very distinctive smell about them that you can often get the minute you open the door. You've got some footmarks, right?
Has he got a German passport? Has he got a German passport?
So I've got a feeling it's probably clear because the way the boxes are collapsing underneath Mark's knees, I'm sure they would have left some marks if they'd actually crawled up the same space. But it has got a strong smell of burning in here. They're a little bit weak. Sometimes you go through these, they look fairly rigid as you go across, and all of a sudden they just give way underneath you. So you have to be careful. Plus it's people's loads. You know, they're expensive cargo sometimes, and you try to be careful as you go across them. I think it's fairly clear under here.
No sign of any stowaways.
Haben die Leute da rausgeholt?
But the team check if the driver has made any stops where illegal entrants may have got in.
That's fine. Dankeschön.
That's good, Mark. I didn't know you spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Whiffed in there, didn't it? Oh, I thought there was definitely something in there.
It's very promising when you opened it, yeah. Well, bring on the next contestant then, I think.
The Nigerian sex offender has been held in a London detention centre for a week. Today, he's being deported. No one is taking any risks. 4 security guards will escort him all the way to Lagos, Nigeria.
Into that search room, please.
In 2007, over 4,000 serious criminals, including murderers, sex offenders and drug dealers, were deported from Britain. On arrival in Lagos, the security guards will hand him over to the Nigerian authorities. It's now 4 in the morning, and so far the search team in Calais have not caught anyone trying to cross the border. Every week, search teams open up around 4,000 trucks looking for illegal entrants. And with an average of more than 30 fines a day, the officers are not giving up yet. The team get a lorry that's come from Belgium. They want to take a closer look. Before opening up, they photographed the lock. This proves the truck is sealed and the driver has protected his vehicle from being used as a free lift to Britain.
Got a reading with the CO2 probe at the back that was relatively high, which makes us think we ought to have a look inside. It indicates that there's a high CO2 reading. It could be nothing at all, but the fact there is a reading there means we have to check it out.
found trucks carrying sofas wrapped in plastic. The only way to find out if someone's inside is to get in and search.
I would say there is a strong smell.
The smell isn't the only clue that the truck may be carrying more than freight.
Okay, the cushions have been removed from the sofa. If you look at the rest here, they're sealed up with the cushions inside. So the minute we saw that this was outside, it means someone's been disturbing it. And obviously they're trying to hide. But what they've done is, you might see your head right down the bottom there. You'd have to come quite forward. Right down there, see his head?
Not right now, I just want to see how many there are.
Can you see that in there? Have you got him? So there's at least one, but the way these are going here, there could well be a few more. Matt, I'll be very surprised if he is the only one.
All I want you to do, mate, is just grab my legs.
Oh, we've got two, at least. Tickets? No tickets? End of the ride then,
Stay there. Stay there.
Wait.
Okay, then we'll get you out one at a time, all right? Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay. It's all right, stay there.
Wait.
1 minute, yeah?
One, stay.
Maybe they cut.
Chief Immigration Officer Kerry Lockie wants to know how the stowaways got in without the driver knowing.
What we're doing is we're checking the tilt cord. This is the tilt cord that goes through all these latches here on the tarpaulin. We're just checking to see whether it's been cut and pinned, as they call it, because this was sealed. So the only way that they could possibly have got in is by cutting it and then resealing it so that the driver, when he does his checks, he wouldn't be aware that they've been able to get in.
They're very, very quiet, aren't they?
We often find that Indians are one of the most compliant personnel we find, and they do as they're told. They just sit there very quietly, a bit disappointed, but they're usually good as gold. They come out quietly, they don't give any trouble, they give you their names when you ask them. This is what we want, this is what we're here for. A night becomes a long night with just the same old lorries and no results. This reminds me what it's all about.
We'll start extracting the first one out.
Okay.
Okay.
What they've done here is they've cut through the tilt cord and they've pinned it back together and glued it as well. You will actually see that there is actually a pin in there. So it's very difficult for the actual driver to see what's gone on there. And by pulling it, because what the lorry drivers tend to do is will go along and pull the tilt cord to make sure that it's all intact. Of course, that's not gonna give. So he'd have had no idea. Their desire to get to England is so strong, so they will do anything to actually get there, and they have people that organise this for them. So they're very skilled, you know, people actually putting them into the lorries themselves. So they know what to do, they know what shortcuts they can take as well. So, you know, it's a hard thing to call for the lorry drivers, really.
The team will fingerprint and photograph the two stowaways before handing them over to the French authorities. But without the documents required to send them back home, on this occasion, all the French can do is remove them from the port.
What we're going to is lane 173 down at the berth area, where one of our teams has radioed up to say that they have a lorry down here that is full of illegals. So we're going to be responding to it.
Paddy, good. Yeah. There's at least 25, they think, in tyres.
Oh, not.
But big tyres, big tyres. Excellent.
They've no idea how many people are inside, and judging by the size of the load, it's not going to be an easy search.
There's two officers inside, so if we go up this side, help with the searching of the tyres, and the front has still got to be searched as well. Right, there's a seal on that one.
There was a seal on the back that the driver gave was on there. IO markers inspected the seal, it wasn't sealed properly. Entered the vehicle at the rear, unable to visually check the vehicle, but there was a smell, there was a possible entrance of illegals. Took the side curtain off, looked in these two sets of tyres, found a group of 10 in the first group, Second set of tyres, another 9 or 10 people.
8 in there.
Yep.
5 in there.
Gary found 5 in the other set of tyres.
We've got to check the rest yet. I reckon there's more. And there was, what, 2 or 3 down the side there as well.
The lorry is carrying large tyres for agricultural vehicles. It's a dangerous load to hide in, and the first priority is to get the people out safely.
OK, we can start getting them out one at a time, man. I'll get the bottom ones out first.
Keep away, good man. Yeah, you can pull it back more now. Just because we're going to pull the curtain back, is that OK? We don't want you to fall out.
Hey, be careful as well. One of them's smoking in here.
Because there were so many in the middle, some of them have actually laid in these tyres along here. There's quite a lot of space in there, so we'll have to check when everyone's out. Just check all the tyres, just make sure there's still another lane in there.
1 minute. We just got to wait for someone to come and get you.
Go this way for me. That way.
You got your stuff? Excellent.
Oh, watch it to the side. Get back in.
Are they all Vietnamese?
All Vietnamese.
Yeah. You need to find method of entry.
Yeah, back door.
Oh, there was no security at all?
The seal was in.
Oh, but it wasn't.
There, but the seal wasn't locked.
Right. OK.
The stowaways are all Vietnamese. They are the third most encountered nationality at Calais, behind Eritreans and Afghans.
Just watch them with the traffic, yeah?
No, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Good man, 1 minute. Where's your shoes? Oh, down there? I don't know why they took the shoes off, but they did. They were all in here, 10 of them. They might have been on top of each other's head, so that may be why they took the shoes off. It's only a guess.
Sorry? Him there, yeah. Is that the last one of the 8, isn't it? So that's 16, yeah? So far. We've got at least another 6, so we're going to be upwards of 20.
They're all carrying the plastic bags, and this is what they put over their heads.
The Vietnamese are so desperate to come to Britain that they cover their heads with plastic bags to evade the detection of the CO2 monitors.
I'll make it 24. 24, including him. 5 females.
Age, how old are you? Your age?
None of them are carrying documents. These men and women are anonymous and completely untraceable. All the crew can do is ask them for their name, date of birth, and where they boarded the lorry.
21. And you're Vietnamese?
They all stay together. The gentlemen always look after the ladies, so again they'll be very protective of them. And we had one English speaker, which was great, so we've got all the details that we needed. Great find though for CRF, great find.
In total, 24 Vietnamese people were found hiding in the lorry and handed over to the French authorities. The driver was eventually fined £2,400.
It's midnight, and on the front line tonight is Officer Emma Hogben. She's using a probe which reveals human breathing.
30. Tonight's really busy, so we've got a lot of traffic coming through and a lot of sailings. Each berth tonight has got about 4 sailings each, so I think each ferry holds about 120 lorries. We've got a lot of freight traffic coming through tonight. All we're doing now is we're probing all the soft-sided vehicles with the CO2 units to see if we get a reading. They measure the amount of carbon dioxide that's in the vehicle. So the lower the reading, the less carbon dioxide there is. And obviously the higher the reading, the more there is, which would indicate to us that there's a possibility of people being inside the vehicle. If we get a reading, then we'll have to open them.
Officer Hogben is not the only one involved. Other search teams are also at work, and they might have just found something.
You're right in there? We've got 2 colleagues in there at the minute. There's about 6 people they think they've got, but they're right at the front of the vehicle.
Oh!
Clandestines are usually friendly.
Hello. Hello. Oh,
and rarely aggressive or threatening.
Speak English?
Yes, why not?
Where are you from?
I'm from Afghani.
Where?
Afghan.
Afghani.
Iraq?
Yeah.
Are you from Iraq?
Yeah.
Yeah? Him?
Yeah.
How did you get in the vehicle?
Did you come in to the side?
We've got 6 males. 3 are claiming to be from Afghanistan. and 3 are from Iraq. And what we'll do is we'll take photos of them in situ, and then we'll get them out one by one where they'll be detained, so we can serve papers on them. When we opened the curtains, we were quite close to the ship, so their immediate reaction was how close they were to getting onto the ship, which for them must be quite heartbreaking because they're so close to getting to the UK, but they've been stopped, so they were quite disappointed, to say the least.
For every clandestine found, there's the maximum of a £2,000 penalty for both the driver and the company which owns the truck. The ferries need to run on time, so the searching is relentless.
Hello, can you sit down with your passport, please?
The clandestines are cunning and the hiding places imaginative.
Certain loads can be really difficult to search, and in particular tyres, because they can bury themselves underneath them and they're quite difficult to sort of climb across. And wheelie bins are also very difficult because they can get inside, so you have to crawl across and lift up each lid individually, so it's quite difficult to find people. And we often go home with really strange bruises as well from where we've been climbing in certain things.
Officer Emma Matthews may be about to get some more bruises. The CO2 probe has registered a high reading in another lorry.
I can smell.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can definitely smell.
Just here.
Can
Stay
you
there.
pass us the camera, please?
Stay there.
How many? 2 here.
Just 5 months I was here in Calais.
5 months in Calais.
And you speak English?
Where are you from?
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
Stop moving, please.
Well, there's 2 so far, but good possibility that some more down the front. Just one more?
There is another person
3?
in here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another one here.
There is, yeah, I thought it was.
Hello. From Afghanistan as well? Yeah. Any more people? Just 3. 1 chance. They always ask for 1 chance.
They have 1 chance to get to England. As soon as they get to England, then they can try and claim asylum. But can't give them that chance.
Okay, you just wait over there. What, we stay in Calais for 5 months? No, I'm sure, quite frankly, this is probably the 3rd or 4th time in as many weeks or so that this has probably happened. It's all part of the routine that these guys go through in order to get through to the UK.
The trickle has turned into a flood. More Afghan clandestines have been found in another truck.
So 3 people? 3?
It sounds like we've got another one further in who's actually crouched within a load of plastic. Basically, they're just rummaging to see if they can find some more.
Oh, mate. That way. Thank you.
1 chance.
No. Stop asking.
Why?
Because. Come down, please.
1 chance.
No. This way.
I think it's a bit too much of a coincidence that within 10 minutes, till we get 2 lorries with 3 Afghanis in each, they'll be handed over to G4S to mind them while we finish the paperwork, and then they'll be taken back over to the French authorities and removed out of the control zone.
So far tonight, the team have stopped 12 people from crossing the channel illegally. But not every truck is stopped. No one knows how many clandestines get through undetected.
Calais, northern France. In 2008, the UK Border Agency searched over 1 million lorries and stopped 28,000 attempts to cross the channel illegally. This morning, it's business as usual.
Yeah. How many? 1, 2, 3, 5, possibly. Where are you from? Iraq, Iran, Afghan? 5 of you? Okay.
The team has found 5 stowaways, 1 from Iran and 4 from Afghanistan. Of all the nationalities caught attempting to enter the UK illegally, Afghans are the most frequently encountered.
So this actually looks like where they've got in. They've tried to put it back together with a couple of pieces of, looks like shoelaces. Yeah, that's where they pointed out to me where they've got in Calais, about 3 hours ago, they said.
"8 a.m, the port of Calais, France. hundreds of lorries are preparing to board ferries bound for Britain. But some have unwanted cargo. Illegal immigrants trying to get into the country. An Anglo-French deal in 2004 allowed UK immigration teams to be based on French soil for the first time. Their aim, to stop the clandestines, as they call them.
All the way through.
Yeah, let's find it back.
And it seems clear, this one.
Officer Bridget McCarthy has been stationed here for over 4 years.
You got your passport handy?
She has a special tool adapted from a ski pole that detects breathing.
This is a CO2 probe, and in plain English, anything in there that's breathing will be picked up. And so we'll get readings. What you have to do on here is watch how the readings fluctuate and what levels. We know what limits we go to, and if we want the vehicle open, as we class it to be a high CO2 reading, we get the driver to open it up.
They find most clandestines here in the search bays. But there's a report in of a lorry that's not been checked here and is now just metres away from boarding a ferry.
Right, we're going down to the berths. We've had a call to say that ECS have had a find of 5 inside a vehicle.
The clandestines could be just moments away from boarding.
Oh, they'll be distraught.
Bless them.
Yeah, they'll be distraught. Especially when they think they're so close.
The team work closely with the French.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
Handing anyone they catch into their custody.
Players? Driver?
They think they're hidden deep inside this lorry load of tyres.
How far down are they?
We don't know. I'm going to get some ladders and get up there.
Can you just do a registration check for me, please?
But they're in there somewhere. They're in there at the back there somewhere, yeah.
We're not sure.
5, we think.
Not sure.
No one has a ladder. Only one way in.
You don't mind? By all means, yeah. I'll hold the gear then. You two, let's get in there. Brilliant. Good, strong men. Up for there, Dave. We will get a ladder for him. Just tell him stay there 1 minute. What nationalities do you think we got, Toff?
Indian.
Indian.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Got at least 6 people up here.
Excellent.
Buried amongst the tyres, the immigration officers have found more than they first thought.
Okay, he speaks English. This guy here speaks English.
7 Indian men.
Still shot.
You know, basically right at the very bottom, how they got down there and how they ever think they're going to get out is another matter.
Hello, guys. You okay? Where'd you get in Belgium? Belgique?
Belgique.
Ah, Belgique. How long you been in? How long?
This morning? Yeah? What time?
And you haven't got any documents on you guys? No passports? No papers from the French? How can you get to England with no passports? Be careful. That's it. Excellent. It's not very nice. The load's very, uneven. They're all over the place, and we've got a duty of care for these guys, so we've got to get them down as soon as possible. Just stand there for me, good man.
Yeah, the sailing, by all accounts, is off at 8:45 British time. So I don't know. I haven't got a clue what the time is now, but as you can see, the ferry's coming in. They're 150, 200 yards away from getting on the boat. Look, guys, look! So close!
UK immigration officers have been working in Calais since 2002. It's their job to protect the border by stopping the clandestines who hide in lorries who want to enter Britain illegally. It's 2 a.m. and the crew are halfway into their shift. Officer Dave Percival has been working at Calais for 3 years and has seen nearly every trick in the book.
As you can see on this vehicle, it's got a tilt cord that goes through all the loops on the wagon, and then it goes through the winder with a seal on the back, so that's quite a secure vehicle. So vehicles without those, you can just pull the curtain up or even just open the back door. So you do need to have a little bit of security. Like this one that's just come in now, it's got no tilt cord, so you can undo all of these and then just lift the curtain out.
They have the latest kit, heartbeat monitors and CO2 probes. But sometimes, all you need is a torch.
No seal!
So you're automatically working on
It is, isn't it? Check old Eagle Eyes out over here. Yeah, mate. Hello, mate. Hey, hello. Hey. Come on. This way. Yeah, this way.
They've found what's known as an axle grabber.
Yeah.
At some point between the vehicle parking up and the vehicle coming through, someone's climbed onto the axle of the vehicle. So now our priority is to get him off and make sure that he's safe, because he looks like he's quite agile, so he might try and do a runner.
Stand up there for me. Yeah. One person? One? Sure?
Where are you from? Vietnam? Yeah. It's very unusual to get Vietnamese hiding on the axle of a vehicle, which automatically for me thinks there must be someone else somewhere, so either in another vehicle or inside this one.
The vehicle is clear.
Almost here.
Good news for the driver. Each clandestine could cost him a fine of £2,000 if he has failed to carry out the proper security checks.
Where have you come from? Belgium? Yeah? Belgium, yeah? He's not going to talk, is he?
Yeah, papers for Fronte?
The axle grabber isn't saying much, but his paperwork tells some of his story.
Just one?
Papers from the French saying that it was removed. I think it said yesterday.
He was caught by the French only yesterday. UK border agency staff follow the procedure and hand him back to the French. In a few hours, he could be released to risk his life once again.
We hear stories quite regularly about people that have fallen off axles and been crashed under the wheels. It just shows the desperation of people, really, that they're that desperate to get to the UK that they will risk their lives for it.
More than 5 million passengers a year enter the UK through the port of Calais. For those trying to cross the channel illegally, they have almost 5,000 trucks a day to choose from. British immigration officers have been based here since 2004. On duty tonight are Officer Bridget McCarthy and her team. It's their job to check lorries for clandestines, as they call them.
OK, we're in the Calais freight lane. It's now just gone 4:30 in the morning. Got a team of 4 of us in the lanes. One of the officers is doing the board, taking down the registration of the vehicles. Someone is speaking to the driver, checking the cabs, and you've got 2 of us doing CO2 probes. That's putting them up inside the soft-sided vehicles and seeing if we've got anyone breathing in there. If we do get a high reading, then we'll be going in on the vehicle. What's happening now is we've both got a high reading on this particular one. The driver slept in Calais, he's just stated. He's got a tilt cord, but it's not secured to the seal or padlock, but he has got a padlock, so we're both going to go in and just hopefully there's no one here.
3/4 of all the trucks that come through this port are stopped and searched. In 2007, the Border Force stopped nearly 12,000 clandestines. No one knows how many get through undetected.
Around this area of France, they get different pockets of different nationalities.
Passport?
Up on the Belgian borders and further into Belgium, there's a lot of Indian clandestines hanging around. Around this area, coming into the port on the motorways in France, you've got a lot of Afghans, Iranis, Iraqis, and then illegal entrants claiming to be Eritreans.
Just going to go under.
You got your passport?
The team can check and clear a lorry every 2 minutes. But if their CO2 probes pick up signs of life, the search may take a little longer.
Claire had a high reading at the front, so that's the reason we're going to be going in. Now we're going to need to have the side curtain off, please.
No, nothing close.
The team know from experience that if clandestines have picked up a truck to hide in, they'll root as deep inside as they can.
We've got one here, guys. Do you want to let the chief know, please? This door was slightly open, but it wasn't closed properly. And we pulled it, and inside we've got a young male Eritrean that's in here. He's fine, he's a bit distressed at the moment and upset. I think he's only upset because we found him, love him, that's all. But we're going to get him out now, have a talk to him. Claire, can I have the torch, babe? We've got a few more here, guys. There's more than one, guys. Guys, how many people speak English, please?
Is anyone hurt? You're all okay?
At the moment, it's 2, or it's at least 4. I've just had a shout of 4.
It's at least 4.
At least 4 inside machinery.
We've got 4 we can see at the moment. I think one of our people here might be a female. Guys, where did you get in? Anybody going to speak to me this morning? No?
I've not been in there myself at the moment. I went for the officers to keep searching it, but it looks like it's some sort of kind of generator.
I'm going to start getting them out.
Okay, keep them there.
Good boy. Be careful, sweetheart, be careful.
For each clandestine, the truck driver and freight company can be given a fine of £2,000.
You speak English? No English? OK, no problem.
We won't deal with them at the moment. We'll just let them get some air if they've been inside there.
You all right, sweetheart? Looks like we have got a female here. Oh, and she's a baby as well. She's a young one. You all right?
It is a difficult moment. I mean, my priority as a Chief Immigration Officer is to make sure that these illegals are OK. That's priority number 1. They've been inside a sealed container there for some time. Thankfully, they look healthy. I've checked with them now. They're all OK. They're chatting, so we're just now going to deal with them and process them.
I personally don't have a personal opinion while I'm at work as to their reasons for coming, you know. We've got a job to do, and we do the job to the best of our ability. And they're not supposed to be travelling this way undocumented to the UK, and we have to do our job to stop them. We don't take any pleasure in it, it's just a job we do. We get on and do it, and that's it. Where did you get in? Belgique? Belgique? No?
Talking to them, they've all got different reasons for why they want to come to the UK. Some of them claim it's because in their own country they'll be in danger, either mortal danger or going to prison, something like that, so they don't want to stay in their own country. Some of them are under the impression that it'll be a much better life if they make it into the UK, and there's much more opportunities for them to have a family, to find work, etc., for an education sometimes. So they've all got individual reasons.
We've got to do this job here, not just to stop them getting to the UK, but we have to do it for their safety as well. I mean, this could have been a refrigerated vehicle that they'd got into unknowing, and the driver could have put the fridge on at a later date, and, you know, could have been fatal. So it's a job well done. We're pleased.
The 4 Eritreans are not carrying any identification. If they were, the French authorities could remove them from French soil. All they can do in this case is remove them from the port. In Calais, there's another frontline post for the border force. Clandestines trying to cross the channel illegally can also stow away in trucks heading for the Eurotunnel.
Right, sir, can you step down with your passport for me, please? You all clear?
But Officer Mark Atwell has an extra tool in his armoury to give him the edge.
What is this? It's a heartbeat sensor. It's connected to the machine, which is just over in that cabinet there. What we do is we place this on a metal-to-metal contact surface within the vehicle. The machine will then try and detect any vibrations that are caused within the vehicle, either by people moving around or even by their heartbeat. It's quite a sensitive piece of kit.
With up to 30 trucks an hour coming through the search bay, it's not long before hearts are racing.
3 at least, maybe another one.
Well, we've got high readings on the heartbeat, and this time it's actually come good. There's some people in the back. If you have a look at the readings, that's where you can sort of see that they're sort of true readings. They all look very similar.
That's a family group.
Oh, it's 2 kids.
No, it's your mum, dad and child. Do you want them out or not?
No.
Oi! Stay there. Stay down there. Get down there now and stay there. You get down in there. Down in there.
No.
Yes, stay in there.
Officers won't let the clandestines out of the truck until they've moved it to a safe area.
We've got a family, looks like mother, father and child, possible Eritrean nationality, obviously concealed down at the front of the trailer. They're wrapped in foil to try and obviously prevent the CO2 detectors getting set off, but obviously using the heartbeat machine, obviously we found them that way.
We'll sort them out in there. I mean, they'll know they've been found here, and then we'll just move them out there, round to the left and into the deep search bay, and that's where we'll unload them, because we don't get them out in the lanes.
Get down. Sit down. Sit down. The problem we have with this particular nationality is a communication problem. We found them, and they're obviously quite keen to get out of the vehicle as quickly as they can because it's quite uncomfortable inside. but obviously we've got a duty of care towards their health and safety, so we've got to make sure they're nice and safe while the vehicle's actually moving.
Keep him coming. Stop!
So this is sort of full?
Full so far.
Papers. You've got French papers. What was it? 4 people so far. I believe there's a 5th in there. But they're a bit agitated at the moment, so it's a bit of a delicate situation.
Back right hand corner, you reckon? Yeah. One more!
Okay, I'm coming.
Where are you from? Where are you from? Stay there. You stay there.
No camera, you know?
You stay there.
Hey!
Stay there.
Hey! No! Camera!
Stay down. Stay down!
The man's anger at the presence of the camera is a concern to the officers.
Call the pack! Call the pack!
If ever there's a risk of danger, they withdraw and contact the French police.
We've got to think about our own safety and about the safety of illegal immigrants. So at that stage, we decided to withdraw out of the vehicle. We'll close the vehicle up and we'll call the people really in this area who know how to deal with it, which is the French police or Frontier de Path. They'll come in and they'll then now diffuse the situation, hopefully.
I'm trying.
Come on. Go out. Close the door straight away.
To avoid further provocation, the TV crew stopped filming.
Come.
15 minutes later, unfolding events are captured on a camcorder. The clandestine climbs out of the truck. Officers can only look on, as in France it's not their policy to use their power of arrest.
One of them has got very violent and he was kicking and screaming in the deep search bay in the lorry. So much so that he climbed up to the top of the roof, cut himself out, and as he got up onto the roof, he sat on top, he was threatening to jump off, he was screaming, he was threatening our staff, and basically the other 4 have played up to him. And so now they've walked out of the deep search. There's nothing we could do about it, but they're walking so far away from us that they could just jump into another lorry and come through. Yeah, it's a really extreme situation.
The Eritreans are picked up by the French police and released outside the port area. Most clandestines rarely carry any form of identity to avoid being deported by the authorities. They're free to try again to make it across the channel. Calais is the bottleneck of Europe. Trucks from the continent and beyond queue here to come into Britain. 1.5 million of them every year. It's an ideal opportunity for those who want to smuggle their way to the UK. There are over 400 British immigration officers working in this corner of France. Just starting his night shift is Officer John Cassidy.
So we're in the port of Calais at the entrance. The passport booths here are where the French-English control zone begins. So from here we have jurisdiction until it gets down onto the boat by the berths here. So as the lorries approach here, they show their passports at the booth where they'll be checked to make sure they're allowed to travel on. We will then select vehicles to be searched in our sheds.
This selection process is known as spotting. After 2 years at Calais, Officer Cassidy knows what to look for.
But we have certain vehicles we like to look out for. If they don't like they've been secured, find out if they've been sleeping in the port area outside, which is where most illegals will try to enter the vehicle. So the job here is just to traffic management and make sure that the right vehicles get selected for searching.
In 2007, immigration officers stopped nearly 12,000 people trying to cross the channel hidden in lorries. That's more than 30 every day. Chief Immigration Officer Kerry Lockie is prepared for a busy night.
The optimum time that we have fines are between 2 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock in the morning, purely and simply because that's when the lorry drivers are sleeping. So it is usually without their knowledge illegals manage to get into the vehicles.
Slow from Calais?
No stop. Van lock. This.
The officer's favourite tool is the CO2 probe. It detects the breathing of anyone hiding in the trunk.
No, it looks good. No, that's clear. It's fine, yeah, it's clear.
All clear. We're clear with that.
A little less high-tech, but equally effective, the nose.
Well, the bonfire smell that we tend to get when we open them up is because they've been living rough in camps around the area. We understand, obviously, they have got the old bonfires and whatnot going to keep themselves warm, so that's a distinct smell that we tend to find when we open up the lorries.
Sometimes they're unlucky enough to wear shoes with reflective strips on them, which helps give them away. You put the torch and it just flashes up on you.
It's nearly home time for the team. They've checked more than 100 trucks during the night, but still they haven't found any illegal entrants.
You got something? Hang on a minute, I've just got in. I'm going straight up though. 420, 430. Let's go in. As we put the probe in, the readings started to rise quite dramatically immediately, which is usually a good sign. It means that someone might have been in there for quite a while. CO2 builds up, so it doesn't take long for it to be drawn into the probe. Go straight up and we get excited then.
Is that all the way down?
The lorry's load is industrial drain pipes.
They look like they go all the way through though.
Yeah. How many can you see? 3 so far.
Oh, I can smell. You can smell.
There's pipe that goes all the way along, but there's a slight gap to one side, and I think they must have crawled along there. And from what we can see, where it dips down, there's some shoulders and some tops of heads. We think 4, 5 possibly at the moment. One of my colleagues is down there speaking to him at the moment.
It's pipe work all the way down. There's 4 just hidden at 10, 15 foot down on the further side. What you're going to have to do now is take the curtain off at the side, get a better picture of it. Just can't really see from here. Need a bit more light.
There he is.
Are you all Iraqi? Are they all Iraqi?
No.
You? Yeah, you sure? You keep smiling. We're just trying to confirm anybody's actually in here at the moment and their nationalities. Take some photos in situ to show how they got in and where they are hiding for future reference. And then we'll try to get them down safely. Just you next with Charlie, 1 minute, wait.
Next step is to match their photographs to the names. The majority of these people do not carry documents at all because they don't really want to be identified with their country. And also, a lot of them don't actually have documents anyway because of the countries that they come from.
This is what it's all about, actually. You feel like you've done your job. This is what we're here for, to try and find these people. You know they're trying to get here, so you get a buzz and a satisfaction when you do finally get you searching all night long to finally get at least someone. You know it's been worthwhile. That's 5 more people who haven't been successful on this occasion. They will no doubt try again at some stage, and hopefully we'll be able to thwart them again, and they won't be successful next time. But it's what we're here for, and if you don't catch them, you don't feel like you're doing your job. So this is a nice one. This makes you go home on a bus now and go, yeah, good one last night.
The driver was fined £500 and the owner of his vehicle a further £1,500.
Today, Officer Maggie Woodard rushes to the berths, the place where lorries wait just before boarding the ferry.
We've just had a phone call from our colleagues down at the berths, so we're going to go down there, assist with the possibility of clandestines being found inside. Well, it's 2.
The clandestines have been found using CO2 probes that detect human breath.
Has that got the...
My colleagues who were working down here probed this lorry and they got a high reading. They opened it up and they found these 2 illegals on the side of the lorry. We're just trying to get them out now.
One chance. Not today. One chance. Tomorrow, no chance.
We've spoken to the driver. He said his last stop was at Belgium, but we think he also mentioned a 15-minute stop just along the road for diesel, so it's more than likely they are from the jungle originally.
Officer Bowley discovers they used a familiar method to break into the truck.
Right, we've opened the trailer up, and it looks like we've got a tilt cord here that the driver could have used. In addition with the seal, would have sorted this whole problem out for him, wouldn't have been in there.
The driver failed to tie down and lock the canvas sides of his freight.
It looks like when the driver was stopped, someone's opened up the side for them, they've scooted in, and then someone's done all the hooks back up again. Once they've got in, the driver's none the wiser. I would say 95% of the time, there's got to be someone that's sealed the vehicle back up after them.
How old?
Where do you want to go?
England.
Why England?
England, good. Good England.
These clandestines aren't alone in thinking England holds the answer to their dreams. For them, it's the place to find work and start a new life. They'll keep on trying to defy the locking systems. On this occasion, the driver and his company were fined £1,300 for failing to secure the freight.
England, good.
Two gentlemen, maybe again tomorrow. They keep saying one chance for today. They'll know, they'll just keep trying. They'll willingly admit to us that they're going to keep trying until we get to England.
The areas where lorries are searched are called the lanes. Here, Officer Barrett has a high reading on his CO2 probe and has opened up the lorry.
We could smell, as soon as we came in, the smell of clandestine.
There's another clue clandestines are aboard, the distinct aroma of people who've been living rough.
It's like the bonfire sort of smell. Quite distinctive once you've sampled it a few times.
Mark, what have we got?
There's all different. One's claiming to be Syrian, Afghan and Iranian.
This mixed international cargo is unusual, as most clandestines travel in groups of fellow countrymen.
It's a job more rewarding because that's what we're here to do, to prevent clandestines entering the UK.
Just one at a time, Judith. Yeah.
And this is what the job's about.
Just as it's becoming another routine operation, one of the men becomes hostile.
Stay, you guys. Hey, snuff. Stay. No, you stay. Okay, camera goes. You stay here. Okay, you stay here. Sit down.
12.
Might be best to stop filming like this. They're just starting to get a bit agitated, so it might be best to take the camera away just for a second.
The cameras back off to let the men calm down.
For whatever reason, he decided that he didn't want to be on camera, I think, and next one. Yeah, the easiest way to get rid of the camera is to kick off and get everybody to react. And there's always one, there's generally a ringleader who will take charge, who's been here before and knows how it works, so they follow him. Yeah, after you. No one chance, not today, tomorrow. One chance tomorrow. He's very smiley.
Most clandestines are resigned to being caught and openly tell the officers how they got in.
That last one that just came out said that they entered through the side of the vehicle and there's no tilt cord on it.
So again? If the driver had properly secured his freight, it could have stopped the clandestines from boarding. He was fined £1,200.
Sometimes you do get some people, like clandestines, that they tend to get a bit irritable if they come through again and again and again and get found all the time. But it's only the few. I mean, most of them are, try again tomorrow.
In Calais, the search team is coming to the end of their night shift. Rush hour has started. Truck drivers head for the morning ferries after a few hours rest.
It sounds like our colleagues have got some another find of people in the shed next door. It's a hard-sided vehicle as well.
Hello, guys.
It's a huge find, and the clandestines haven't even bothered to try and conceal themselves.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
16.
Basically, you can't see the back of the lorry because there's just so many of them in there, just sat on top of a load of yogurts.
Where, Belgium? Where have you come from?
Any miners in there, Dave? Any female miners?
No ladies, no? No ladies? Where from?
Where are you from?
Afghanistan, yeah?
Afghanistan. Yeah.
Right, guys, can we have them out one at a time? Come on, gentlemen.
The team regularly stops Afghanis from entering Britain illegally. Of all the clandestines caught at Calais, more are from Afghanistan than any other country.
Yeah, they're very pleasant guys. They don't seem deterred by, I think they'll be gutted that they're being found.
Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, again, the main concern is with the people you find in the back of these sealed units. First priority is, are they okay? And as you can see, they're smiling, they're okay, so there's no problems there.
What's happening now is the guys are going in to make sure that it is all clear before they declare the vehicle clear.
We've got a load of chilled goods for supermarkets that have obviously been damaged a little, but not major. Yeah, it's just chocolate desserts, tiramisus, panna cottas, profiterole rolls.
As you know, this is a refrigerated vehicle. It's running at +2, I believe, between +2 and +5. It is cold. They're well wrapped up. I've just put my hands in there, so it's pretty cold.
Evidence that they've been in there a little while. It's not very hygienic, obviously, but they've been quite careful in filling a bottle like that.
Border Control keeps a record of every clandestine found. Each will be photographed and fingerprinted before being handed over to the French authorities.
We've just got nowhere else to put them at the moment. Obviously, such a big number, we need to process them now. Now we've entered that vehicle with the 16 clandestines, all of Afghani origin, all male and all in fairly good spirits.
I remember one at the beginning of this year that had about 3 or 4 more, and that was in the back of the big drums from cement mixers that we found down on the berths. But other than that, I can't think of anything that's been more than this, other than that one this year. On average, this is a big find.
We've handed them over now to ECS, who are our escort team. They're going to take them into the detention room one at a time. G4S will search them, put them in detention. That's going to be a long process, because as we know, there's 16 of them, so it could take an hour and a half, maybe, don't know how long.
All 16 Afghanis, none of them carrying ID, are escorted out of the port, free to join the clandestine community in Calais, and free to try another day to cross the Channel illegally.